Hey, Julia Barzyk here from Wise Investigator. So I've talked previously about the importance of reaching out to funders early in one's career and saying it's never too early to reach out to funders. And I'll reiterate that here, but I wanted to outline a specific scenario that I see play out and I think a little too frequently. So this would be an assistant professor who's hired into their position and they have startup funds. So with these startup funds, they can get their research going, importantly, get a lab going. And during these first couple years, they're also generally preparing coursework for the first time, teaching courses for the first time that requires a lot of preparation and is an exceedingly demanding time for anyone in this position. So once they get a little breathing room from this here, they may be thinking about applying for an NSF Career Award. And if and when win an NSF Career Award, this is wonderful news. It's definitely something to be celebrated and it's a great achievement. However, when the PI is then performing on this award for a number of years, if we take the years that they were performing on, with their startup funds, and then you go into the NSF Career Award period, one problem that I see is that during, say, those entire 5 years, they have not begun the process at all of reaching out to anyone at mission-driven funding organizations like the Department of Defense, services within the DoD, or Department of Energy, just for example. So when you're funded with your startup funds, when you get the career funding, you may not need to be very, very aggressively going after these mission-driven funders opportunities at the same time, but absolutely beginning to learn about them, beginning to have conversations, and beginning to even think about applying for some small amount of funds or as a collaborator with a co-PI who might be the primary PI to some of these organizations to start, say, getting your feet wet with these other funders can help you avoid a very stressful situation, which is going through the startup years, going through the career award, and coming out of that and really not knowing what to do or where to turn when you start to get to the end of the early career and going into the mid-career stage. So I don't want to say waste, but I would encourage you to make the most of those early years, even when you know you're not going to have the bandwidth to do really heavy duty proposal writing, to at least get these opportunities on your radar and to start making some of those connections.